Hi everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is what I'll be making today. It is a little post-it note holder with little, I suppose, file tabs, I suppose you'd call them. Now, I was trawling YouTube and Pinterest looking for some inspiration for projects, and I came across, a whole lot of these dating from a few years ago, and I think it must have been when Stampin' Up introduced the envelope punch board, because there were a lot of Stampin' Up demonstrators making cards and this kind of project. That was before I joined Stampin' Up, so I've never made one, so today I thought I'd give it a go. And here's what I'm using. I've got a piece of Night of Navy card, and it's 7.5 inches by 3 1/8. I've taken a piece of the Mango Melody DSP. Now these sheets are 6 by 6, so I've cut a 3-inch strip, and I then cut that piece into two pieces, one which is 3 1/4 and one which is 2 3/4. Got a piece of Night of Navy for punching, a piece of Very Vanilla for stamping and punching, and a piece of Mango Melody for punching. I've got a length of the Night of Navy gingham ribbon. That's about a foot long, something like that. I'm using stamps from A Good Day, and I'm going to use Night of Navy ink, and I've got quite a few punches. I've got a 1.5 inch circle, a 1 1/4 inch circle, a 1 3/8 of an inch scallop circle, and the star of the show today is going to be my envelope punch board. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score my Night of Navy card, and I'm going to begin by scoring it at 3 3/8. So there's my 3-inch mark, and then 1, 2, 3 is 3/8, and then I'm going to score another 3/8 of an inch further on, so that's 1, 2, 3, and that is 3 1/4. All right, and that's going to be the basis of my post-it note holder. I'm going to adhere the larger piece of my my DSP to what is going to be the front of me post-it note holder. And I'm using liquid adhesive because that gives me a little bit of wiggle time. Okay. And the smaller piece I'm going to stick on what is going to be the inside. Now this isn't going to go all the way down to the bottom of the card, and that doesn't matter because the post-it notes will cover that. And the way I know which is the front and which is the back is because the shorter piece is going to be the front. Should have said that. This is where it's going to get shaky. So if a shaky picture is something that bothers you, this is where you might want to look away now and just listen to the audio. And the reason for that is I'm going to have to work on my table. My table is very flexible. Although it looks nice and solid, it's actually a picnic table covered with wood effect wallpaper. And I'm going to have to press quite hard on that button. That is going to make the table flex and the camera is going to bounce. So, fair warning, okay? So, if I show you on my envelope punch board here, if you look inside that slot there, where my finger is, and you see, there's a kind of a little metal piece that kind of sticks out, and that is where I'm going to line up my card with for my first punch. Okay, so I'm going to line that in the middle. Alright, ready? This is where it's going to bounce. And now when I move that out, I've got a curved edge there. Actually, I'm going to do that again, and I'm just going to move it a little bit more to the left. Okay, that's better. So that's now given me that nice, can't think of the word, that nice slope, I suppose, that nice edge. Okay, so now I'm going to line this edge here up with the 2 1/4 inch mark, and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, and this time I've got a little V shape cut out of out of there. Alright, so I'm going to bring in my cutting board and my craft knife, and I can find it because it's buried itself at the bottom of my craft bag here. And let me just turn this round, and I'm just going to cut away this piece here. Okay. And I'm left with that shape. So now I'm going to turn my card over, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I put tear and tape on the back of my post-it notes. So just need to take off the backing, and this is the stuck together edge of the post-it notes. You don't really want to put them in upside down. And then I'm just going to line those up and bring the back part forward, and there we go. There's my little post-it note holder. So I want something now to hold it closed and to make it look pretty. And I'm going to use this stamp, which says "Just for you." I've got Night of Navy ink, and I'm still using my old style Night of Navy ink because there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. And I'm just going to stamp down onto this scrap of Very Vanilla card, which I think is actually one of our note cards. And I'm just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so that the ink has time to transfer. There we go. Close up my ink pad, otherwise I will put my finger in it. Not might, will. And let's bring in the smallest of my punches, which is the 1.25 inch, and it's just big enough to go all the way around that image, just like that. There you go. So with my 1 3/8 circle punch, I'm going to, it's not a circle punch, it's a scallop circle punch. I'm going to punch out one of those, and 1.5 inch, I'm going to punch out a piece of Night of Navy. Okay. So they're all going to stack up like this. Okay, now I'm going to put it together. So I'm going to begin by putting a little bit of liquid adhesive onto the back of my piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm just going to line that up onto the Mango Melody. I keep wanting to say Melon Mambo, which is an entirely different colour. And I don't, it's going to take me a while to get used to the names of the new colours, but I absolutely love this one. And I'm not usually a fan of yellows, so this one I think is quite special. Okay, so here is my gingham ribbon, and I'm just going to tie it round my post-it note holder, not too tightly. I want to be able to slide it on and off. Alright, because otherwise it's going to be a bit tricky for whoever gets it. Okay, so that slides on and off. And it's a little bit too long, so let's chop the ends down. And more by luck than judgment, I think I've managed to get a nice square knot going on there. So I'm going to pop a little glue dot into the centre of my piece of Night of Navy, and I'm just going to adjust this so it's reasonably central, and I'm going to stick that down with the glue dot. And oh, I just want to mention that while I was here, when I glued the DSP onto the card, I had it too far this way. It really needed to be flush with the top surface. I didn't like the way it looked with a little bit of blue hanging over it, so I took my snips and I cut that bit away. So now it looks, I think it looks better. So I'm using dimensionals. Me pull my knot nice and tight and pop that over the top onto those dimensionals. And there it is, that is my finished post-it note holder, and I'm going to be making up a few of these because anyone who comes shopping with me in the month of July is going to get one of these as a thank you gift. But that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Come back again and see me sometime soon, won't you? But for now, bye bye.